Good morning, everyone. This is Lee here. So I hope everyone's having a great Friday today. So today's Friday and the weekend's coming up. So today I'm talking about a question that has been posed within our community. And it's a great question. So the question is, how do we price our online courses? Now, the answer to that question isn't really, there's so many factors that play a part of that decision-making process around how you're going to price your courses. So I've got a few notes here. I'm going to refer to my notes so I cover everything today. So the first thing is it's looking at what's your current positioning. I mean, who knows who knows you? For example, if you look at someone like let's use Tony Robbins, he can ask thousands and thousands of dollars for his courses because he's already established a following. He has credibility. He has proof. He's been in business for a long time, running courses for a long time, so he's got that credibility. Now, if you're just starting out and you're doing the same type of program as what he's doing, because you haven't got that reputation, you may not have that following, and then it could be quite difficult for you to ask for a high ticket price for a course if nobody knows who you are, and there's no evidence that you get results with your courses. So obviously that factor of positioning has to be taken into consideration when you're looking at pricing your courses. So again, do you have an online presence? Do you already have people following you? Do you have past testimonials? All of these things show that you have credibility. And of course, the more credibility you have, the higher prices that you can charge as well. And also today, it's about giving away free value first. So the more value you give away, the more impressive the free value that you give away in your free teachings, the more you start to show yourself as the expert in your field, and the higher prices that you can actually charge as well. So sometimes they call it moving the line, the value line. So the higher the value is, the more you can charge as well. So that's the first point you need to consider. So say, for example, you're just starting off. So you're just starting off with your courses and then you haven't got a lot of connections or credibility. What will happen there is you may have a special price. So you may have a launch price. So you may drop your prices down so it's affordable for more of your market on the proviso that you get like testimonials, you get credibility, you call it a launch price, but you're willing to do that because you get the proof that you do good courses. And then obviously the next time you run the course, you would increase the price. And this comes to another fact as well, and that is looking at, what is your market? What is your market there as well? So it will depend on what your market will pay as well for your programs. The next thing I want to talk to you about is we don't want to be competing on price anyway. So if you look at a lot of online courses, they add all of these bonuses. They add all this perceived extra value so that people think they get a really great deal, but they actually bump their prices up because they've got all this added value. So say, for example, if I'll just say example, one of my courses that I have been running in the past is I ran a conflict management course. So what I did to actually bump up the perceived value of that course is I also added extra assets that I had that would complement that course onto my program, so people get more than just the course. For example, in the conflict course, I gave the conflict course out there, but I also added in some other assets that I had videotaped, that I had taped about talking about handling difficult people. So not only do you get my course, but I layer on top, you get all of these CDs on top as well. So for my example, I had handling difficult people on top of my conflict course. And then on top of that, so I stack it to increase the offer. So on top of that, then I added in, live Q&A group, so many sessions on top, so you can ask questions and bounce ideas off. So that layers it on top. And then I layered on top of that as well, having a follow-up session in a few months' time as a group. So I layered that on top. So the idea is you keep on laying on top. And as you start to work more and more your business, you're building more and more assets. And some of those assets could also be interviews with people who have a high profile, for example, talking around a topic that will complement the course that you're giving out as well. So that's quite easy to do because you start inviting experts to share, 15, 20 minutes or whatever around a topic that's going to complement your course. And you do an exchange, and then you do a topic for them, and then they can use that in their marketing as well. So you start working together as a team, because if you're doing it all alone by yourself, then you'll never be successful in business. So people who are really successful in business, you'll always see there's a team around them. There's more than just them. They have a team around them to help them to deliver the skill sets that they haven't got. So say, for example, if I'm creating a course and I'm having difficulty with technology, building platforms, building membership sites, I may outsource that because I can use my time more effectively in doing skills that I already know. So I may not want to learn how to use all the technology. So take that in consideration as well. So it comes down then to is what extra value can you offer so that your offer becomes irresistible. So people go, wow, I get all of this for my, for the fee that I'm paying for my course. This is why we should start from creating the offer first and work backwards before we create our courses. And the other thing I would do as well is if I'm new to the market, I would just create the outline of the course, and then I would see if there's going to be people putting their hand up to actually attend your courses. I know so many people, and I've done it myself in the past as well, lots and lots of times. I've created all these great courses, and yet I can't sell it. I can't sell. I don't understand the market. I haven't created my copyright. My headline isn't right. I don't understand the process, the whole system to do marketing. So this can be an issue, because if you don't understand or you don't want to invest time in learning that, then you may have to partner up with someone in your business. So you start looking for people who are very highly skilled at that, because the marketing is probably about 70% success of you being able to sell your course. So 30% is actually creating and making it dynamic. But the big factor is it's actually getting it out there to the public to view. So have a consideration of that as well. The other thing I want to talk to you about is with the course, if you were saying a brand new entrepreneur and you haven't got a lot of, I suppose, proof yet that you're good at what you do, I wouldn't do a whole course. I would just maybe do the first module first and break it down. So say there's 6 modules, I would do your first module and I would actually sell just one module. So I chunk it down to small pieces. And you could sell a first module for, say, it may take 2-week challenge or whatever, and it could be as low as $100 for the first module. But you got the ball rolling. You've got it rolling. So obviously and also you've then identified people who have experienced what you've created. They like what you've done. Okay, they give you testimonials, and then there's more willingness for them to go to your next module. So you may chunk your first course down to small modules. So you're not investing a lot of time trying to create it, and yet and have difficulty at actually getting momentum in your business. So that's a really, really good skill too, and that's something that a lot of online entrepreneurs are doing today as well to gain that credibility. So I would say don't spend forever trying to develop your course. You should be spending more time first to developing your positioning, your marketing, your following people. But when we talk about following, we're not talking about having a number that's not engaged. So we're talking about engaged following. So I may have 10,000 people in my group, or 10,000 friends, or whatever, but I may only have 10 people who are actually engaged with what I'm doing. So therefore, it's not really about how high the number is. It's about the engagement level of those people. So the more engaged they are, the more they'll probably want to support you in coming on board and being a client of yours, because you demonstrated trust, you've demonstrated credibility, you've demonstrated value as well. So all of those factors need to be in the consideration of your pricing. But check your market, go out there, test it. It's all about, to be honest with you, everyone, it's all about testing and measuring. So if your price is really high and no one comes through the funnel, it may not be a price. It may be how you position the program. Have you organically driven people to the course? Are you paying paid ads to go to the course? And the only way you know that is by tracking and measuring. So obviously, if you're doing paid ads like Facebook or whatever, you're loading the pixel onto your landing pages so that you can track and see how many go to your page that you're advertising on. So it's called a landing page. So you start to track how many people go. So if they're going there, that means the ad is working. But if they're not converting, it means your copy on that page is not hitting the mark, because they're going for the first hoop. Now, if no one's going to your landing page or your advertising page of where you're actually advertising your event, then obviously what's happening there, the ad isn't hitting the mark. So it's looking at all those different factors that have to play a part of it. But the real thing is about tracking and measuring, changing the headlines around. I'd say chunk it down to make it smaller chunks so that you've got a bigger market. Because people, if they don't know you, there's a higher willingness for them to invest in a small amount than a huge amount if they don't know you. So I hope that helps. If you've got any questions or anything else around the topic of pricing your market, and I haven't covered it in this session, just comment below, add your comments, let me know, and I can actually answer those questions as well. So have an amazing weekend coming up, and I'll talk to you again very soon. Take care. Bye.